This video is on the new SetRecursion function in FileMaker 18. Be sure to check out the description for links to all of the new feature videos and the free course at Productive Computing University for all the videos in one place. You may not have ever realized that the actual default for recursion is 50,000 iterations. But with the SetRecursion function, it can allow you to lower or raise that default. The format is fairly simple. You've got two basic parts here, this expression, which can be quite complicated, and then the number of iterations that you want to be the maximum. In the description, we learn here that they're limited to 50,000 iterations, and it's going to return a question mark if this is incorrect. And note that while SetRecursion can help with that limit, it may also terminate if the available stack space in memory becomes too small, regardless of what SetRecursion is set at. So they give an example here of the SetRecursion, and then all of this is the expression part of SetRecursion right here. So it can contain all kinds of things, and then they're saying 5. And this recursion is going up to 10, so they're saying it's going to return a question mark. But in this example, a simple increment, because it's incrementing to 100,000 and the limit is 200,000, then it'll actually return 100,000. So if we copy this and go into the data viewer, and we'll just paste that, we have 100,000. If we decrease this to 20,000, now we get the question mark. I thought it would be fun just to look at some comparisons of testing. This kind of shows the difference between while and these others. So I've set up 3 scripts to test while. The first is just a loop. We set a loop val, we get a timestamp, and all it is doing is incrementing loop val by 1, and it's going to exit as soon as it hits 250,000. We get the ending timestamp, so we know how long it takes. Then we have a custom function that does the same thing. We're counting to 250,000. Just a generic custom function. If it's less than 250,000, we're recalling this again and incrementing the start value parameter by 1. And then we have the while test. And this one is looking at this loop. We set the variable to 0. If it's less than 250,000, increment it. And then we end up with I. So very simple test. Now let's see what that timing is. If we do just the loop only, how long will it take to get to 250,000? It takes 7 seconds to get to 250,000. What about the custom function? That was really fast, but it actually didn't count at all. This got to 250,000. How about the while loop? That got a question mark, so it didn't count to 250,000 either. And that goes back to the iterations. The iteration limit here is 50,000 for recursion of both custom functions and for this while function. So we're going to change the test here, and I'm just doing the custom function and the while loop because the loop script steps don't change. And here I'm counting to 25,000, but I'm going to do that 10 times. So in this one, I just changed it to 25,000 instead of 250,000, and we're just incrementing by 1. In the while loop, we're also going to 25,000 and doing that 10 times. So which one of these is going to be faster, and will it be faster than the loop? Yes, it only took 2 seconds. We'll click that again and see if it's still 2 seconds. It is, compared to the loop all by itself. And the while function in a loop was also 2 seconds. There, it got it in 1 second. So very interesting that we're using the loop steps here, that we are here, but it's still faster with the custom functions. So now let's do the test with the SetRecursion, and all we're changing in this example is we're going back to the custom function counting to 250,000, and here is the previous one. All of that is exactly the same as this one, except we put this SetRecursion function outside of it. Everything inside is exactly the same. We're just saying, hey, the limit is 300,000. And then we did the exact same thing for the while. Everything in here is exactly the same, 250,000, but SetRecursion is telling us 300,000 is the limit. So we basically eliminated the loop step, and let's see how this goes for the custom function. It actually took longer, even though we didn't have the loop steps, the stacking and the buffering. It just starts to decrease the speed. There we got to 4 seconds. And how about while with the SetRecursion? Now that still is at 2. That's very comparable. So while SetRecursion is helpful to eliminate the loop script steps, the speed, at least just for counting, is much faster in the loop. If it's more complex, then you may want to just test those speeds. But I thought that was very interesting to see how those compared. And that is the SetRecursion function. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out the description for links to other new feature videos for FileMaker 18 and the free course at Productive Computing University for all of the videos in one place, as well as other courses to enhance your skills as a FileMaker developer.